Friends, for the last 9 glorious years, I have been privileged to serve as the senior pastor here at this extraordinary congregation. Today, I have to share with you that my time as your senior pastor is coming to a close. This summer, I'm being appointed to another United Methodist Church within our Virginia conference. Today is Announcement Sunday all across the conference, and so it's the day in which I have to break this and share this information. I want to say to you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My time at Calvary, not only has it been fruitful, have we seen it growth financially and numerically and all these other kind of ways, and people's faith deepen, but my life has been greatly enriched. This has been a glorious congregation to serve as pastor, and I thank each and every one of you. When I came 9 years ago, my daughter was in preschool. My son was like this tall. Now he's this tall. And Gianna's right up here. My wife, Danielle, and I, and our kids were just warmly welcomed and enveloped into your life and welcome to lead here in a wonderful way. And I will always look back upon these 9 years with great fondness and affection and joy. I have grown personally also during this time. And I thank you all for being kind to me during the journey, helping me figure some things out, putting up with some peculiar sermons every now and then, and all of the rest. And I'm grateful that we have until June together. My last Sunday will be June the 11th with you. And I know that SBRC is planning a farewell celebration that day and reception, and I look forward to it, even while it'll be very, very hard to experience it. Now, I wasn't going to tell you where I was going, but I had a couple people who said, everybody's going to ask you where you're going. So I need to share that as well. I'm being appointed to be the senior pastor at Centerville United Methodist Church in Centerville, Virginia. And that's part of Fairfax County. And so some of you may have noticed a little bit more than a month ago, I sold my home. And that was to help with the preparation so that I could find a residence out there. And I'm grateful that the conference has kept me in Northern Virginia, so it's commutable for my wife and suitable to my family. And while we're excited about the opportunity that presents, I will miss you. And I will miss your affection. I will miss being in ministry with and for you. And so I'm going to ask you to do a couple things for me. Okay? One, pray for me, for my transition, for my family, for our transition. And then also for Calvary, right? And for your new pastor who Jim is going to be announcing it just in a second. I'm also going to ask that if you want to show your appreciation to me, the way I want you to do that is by embracing the ministries of Calvary United Methodist Church. Do not stop in your dedication financially, in attendance, in prayerfulness, in any of the ways, but continue to devote yourself to the good work that we've done together over these 9 years. Thank you.
We're going to miss you and we love you. For those that don't know me, my name is Jim Laster. I'm going on my second tour with the SPRC. Our chair of the SPRC, Ray Davis, he's actually overseas on a business assignment right now. And he and Dr. Calvert asked me to be with you today and to kind of talk through the process of how all this happened. And you're probably disappointed right now, a little bit of shock. But what I have found, being a retired Marine officer, is the process, the protocol, the chain of command, so to speak, of United Methodist Church is very similar to the military. And, all of you come from professionals, professions such as the government or corporation or so on, and you all know that no one gets to stay in one place forever. Okay? Military officers and even enlisted move around every 3 or 4 years. In the corporate world, executives and CEOs move about every 5 or 6 years. That's normal. It brings freshness into organizations. And so that it's no different really in the United Methodist Church. In fact, the bishop here in Virginia made a policy that no pastor will stay in one place more than 10 years. Just to bring freshness to each congregation and to also give the pastors a chance to grow and provide their talents and leadership throughout the state of Virginia. So that's the reason this is happening. So the SPRC was summoned by Dr. Calvert mid-February. We all got together and she told us what was going to happen. Of course, I'll be very frank with you. The very first thing in the first 10 minutes of the discussion was us telling her how disappointed we were and trying to talk her out of it, okay? She wasn't having it. Says, nope, I hear you. Yes, he's a wonderful man, but I need him at this other church. You guys get over it and let's figure it out, okay? So we gave her our input, and then fast forward mid-March, she called us together again, and she introduced us virtually to Dr. Sherry Daniels, our new incoming pastor. Wonderful lady. And so just to tell you a little bit about her, but the transition is ongoing. The planning is continuing, and as Pastor Matthew said, we plan on having a farewell for him at his last service here on the 11th of June. Dr. Sherry Daniels, she's the senior pastor at the Norfolk United Methodist Church. She's from Texas. She graduated from Texas Southern University in Houston. She went on to Gammon Theological Seminary in Atlanta, and then went on to the Drew School of Theology in New Jersey, where she received her PhD. She served initially in the Texas Conference as the campus minister of the Texas Southern University Wesley Foundation, and she was also the senior pastor at the Cornerstone United Methodist Church in Texas. They started to see her leadership skills and talents, and they started to move her around. In fact, she found herself next in the bishop's cabinet in Illinois. So now she's gone from Texas to the Illinois conference. All said and done, she has 34 years of ministry and leadership in the United Methodist Church throughout the country. She also, in our virtual meeting, said that she was going to start working out because she wanted to play on the softball team. So, okay, so she's probably busy working out here probably this afternoon even, so she can make the team. So, in kind of closing, I would say that, 1 Corinthians reminds us that we can't see the future clearly, but God can. And he clearly saw our future by giving us this wonderful man and his family, by now moving him and giving him to another congregation and church, and giving us Sherry Daniels, who will be a wonderful pastor for this church. We've been blessed to have this man's inspirational leadership, his creativity, his innovation. Just think back to COVID. Every church in this area, Northern Virginia for that matter, was shut down. They didn't even have services. Not this man. Like a good Marine, he said, I'm going to adapt and overcome. I'm going to accomplish the mission. And he didn't ask permission. In fact, he and I discussed that. He was afraid to ask permission. Okay, so he said, I'm going to provide leadership and do my own thing. And so he found a way to have services out here in the parking lot, which were wonderful. And then he found a way to gradually bring us back inside, and he did it responsibly, and he did it very safely. So we have been blessed to have this man. I would say also that I'm called upon to consult with and mentor senior leaders of our government. And one of the things I tell them is trust your instincts. And believe it or not, even in the U.S. government, I've gotten away with being able to say that I believe instincts are spiritual. It's God, it's our guardian angels that are poking at us, giving us that little funny feeling. And sir, I will tell you that my instincts tell me that your star will continue to rise. And so God bless you and your family.